just a strength of will, that the Italians abroad will stand together and create Italy abroad. Now, the Italian immigrants are valuable not just because they're remembered as the unredeemed Italians, but also because of their actual contributions to Italy during its industrial takeoff. The idea was that eventually Italy could become wealthy enough to employ everyone in its own country without the people having to leave. And that is, in the end, why immigration ends in 1976, when this is finally accomplished. So Italy's economic takeoff before World War I is a big part of this, and then its economic miracle after World War II. And so the money that Italians send home as remittances is a crucial contribution to Italy's balance of payments. Because when they're industrializing, moving from an agricultural economy to an industrial economy, usually countries take out a lot of debt to pay for the industrial plant. They bring in new technology, they import machine tools, they're spending a lot of money, and that raises their debt and inflation and interest rates, which then works against their economic growth. The Italians in this period, thanks to the immigrants, are able to keep inflation low, maintain the lira at the same level. And a lot of this is thanks to remittances through the Bank of Naples that the Parliament sets up. And you can see a geometric increase in the remittances along the lines of the geometric increase in immigration. And then after World War I is even more dramatic as the lira loses its value in the post-war chaos. The remittances in lira really go way off the charts, about 5 times as much. But this is hard currency from abroad on the gold standard coming into Italy, and remittances, contributions from immigrants make up 1/4 of Italy's balance of payments, which is a lot for a big country going through industrialization. And even as Italy encouraged its citizens, its immigrants abroad, to become American citizens, it still held out this Italian citizenship just the same. So even if an immigrant became an American citizen or a Brazilian or Argentine citizen, when they'd go back home, they'd become an Italian citizen just automatically. So they didn't really see assimilation as really the final step. Hopefully the Italians would come home and bring their savings with them. So there's various publicity for these remittances through the Bank of Naples. The Bank of Naples was founded in the 1600s, in the 16th century, as a non-profit bank. So this is a charitable bank, not out to make money like a commercial bank. So they're coordinating these remittances not to make a profit, but just to make it cheaper and easier for Italians to send money home. So on the Castle Rock, the castle of the Castello del Lobo, there's an example of what the remittances looked like. The bank made agents abroad in all the different countries who would sell these remittances and make little profit for themselves and for the Bank of Naples. But this would bring business into their bank. So here's an example of a bank in New York City selling the Bank of Naples remittances, but also offering other banking services. So they're not making money on this Bank of Naples remittances. The money's basically all going straight home without the high fees that you see today with Western Union money transfers. And the remittances also helped the Italian economy in another way, that the immigrants were buying Italian exports as well.
Mm.
So pasta, wine, tomatoes, olive oil. Right. Italy saw these immigrants as the bridgehead into the American market, Argentine market, Brazilian market. And it's really interesting to see how the reputation of Italian exports increases in this period, from Italian wines basically being unknown to being a leader. And today, Italy's wine exports are the largest in the world. So the remittances were tied to return migration, because if people left and never came back and had nothing to do with Italy ever again, they wouldn't really be sending money home. But since return migration remained high, remittances also remained high. It cost $20 to come across to America, but it was actually even cheaper to go back, because the ships, of course, have to make the round trip. And so they sell the fare even cheaper, so it's only like $5 to go back home to. And the Italians came back by the hundreds of thousands to fight for Italy in World War I. Even though they weren't really, required to go back to Italy, there's no way the Italians could make them go back. They went back to contribute to their.
How many, excuse me, more or less?
It was 300,000 immigrants who went back, who were paid for by Italy.
No.
So,
It's a big number.
right, and so I'm sure you've all seen the movie about Vincenzo di Francesca.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all seen that movie? No?
They probably haven't.
What is it called?
How
Well,
rare a possession.
It was a movie. It was a movie actually about the Book of Mormon, but half of it's this Italian story about this Vincenzo di Francesca from Sicily, who basically emigrated on a whim to visit his brother in New York, and then in New York he
Goes to
became a
theology school.
Protestant. As many Italians did, and then he basically found a Book of Mormon in a trash can, and kind of, and then
He was a pastor, no? He was like a Protestant.
right, he was a Protestant, yeah, exactly. But remember, he went back to Italy for World War I
Yeah.
at his own expense.
Oh.
So he wasn't even part of that 300,000. So even more went back. They'd get a draft letter, which is kind of audacious for Italy to send these draft letters to these immigrants abroad, and you have to come back because they can't make them come back. But I think it shows how many ties people did have still to Italy, to go back and fight and die for Italy, even though it's on the other side of the ocean.
Still, they say that for World War II nobody came.
Right.
Or very few.
Right, and Mussolini asked for people to come back,
Yeah,
but
this time.
it was it was basically a bad war,
Well, the
and
United States was against.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Right.
Exactly.
Mussolini
Germans are
declared
Italians,
war.
Japanese.
Italy and Germany declared war on the United States before the United States declared war on them. So everyone in Italy knew they were going to lose.
Sure, if they went back, they were in trouble. So,
Besides, it was no more for a nation, but for an empire.
Right.
They were just happy with the nation.
Right. I mean, if Italy had been on the right side of the war in World War II and fighting for something good instead of something bad, I think that